speaks to the physical exertion that you both are going through. Okay? The second thing, Alyssa, I want you to think about is, what has she just been doing?
She just chased Cinderella to get her slipper, but she missed. She didn't get it.
Right. So she just what, Cinderella?
Chased.
100%.
Yep.
That's a great act of work, right? She wasn't just sort of like, do you have a slipper? She was like, give me that genie slipper, right? But she was also not doing that. She was like, give me that genie slipper, right? She's like getting through some stuff, right? What does she have with her?
The Rapunzel's hair.
Right, where'd she get that?
She pulled it from her head.
Right. At the same place that she was looking for the slipper?
No.
Right. So she actually was in one place going, I need this. How did you get the hair?
I pulled it from her head.
You pulled it from her head. Right, so what we're getting at, this woman is going to land, and so why did you, the last thing I want to say before we put it all together is, why did you pull it from her head?
Because I need it.
What do you need it for?
To break the spell.
Right, and has your husband found it yet?
No.
So you have one. How many things do you think he has?
Well, I think he has one.
Right, so you've got two together, right?
Yep.
You missed Cinderella, but did you see in which direction she went?
Yes.
How are you feeling at this point?
Exhausted.
And?
Excited.
Yes! Well, that's human. To be exhausted and excited, right? Where are you supposed to be?
At home.
Right! So how does that make you feel now that you're excited, exhausted, and have a winning prize, right? So what we're getting at now is this woman is not just showing up in the middle of a room and going, hey, look what I found. She has got sweat and mud and blood and cuts and scrapes and exhausted and over hyperventilating, right? But because she's crossing the finish line.
Yeah.
Right? And what's at the end of the finish line?
A baby.
There's that. Now you get that in the middle of excited, exhausted, a baby. Right? Everything kinesthetically that Alyssa just had when she answered her questions, you want to point to as a director. That's me with a young actor right there. It's using exact descriptives and active descriptives so that you can point them out. So be excited and be exhausted and want the baby. Right? Bring all of that in, right? How much time do you have left?
1 day.
Yes, so less than 12 hours.
Yep.
And you need to find what?
The slipper.
And?
Well, he has the cow.
The cow. And you now have, you need to find, so you have the hair and the cow. You need to find the slipper and what else?
He has the cape.
And the cape. So we have 3, right? Right, so you need 1, right? And you have 12 hours to find it, right? So now you have to get on with it.
Yeah.
So now there's an action to be played even as much as you're crossing the finish line. It can't be like, ga-ga, right? It's got to be, ga, let's go, right? 100%, right?
Yep.
Where's she supposed to be? So that's all that energy coming into stage. And that is all active, specific, useful energy and opportunity. Nothing vague about it. Am I right? For you, I want to make sure that's an actual question.
Yes.
Okay, great. Where is she supposed to be? Oh. What has happened every time she's shown up?
I lose an item.
Yes! Yes! And without making too much of a deal out of it, how does that feel? What is it like to see her again? What just happened to you? Right?
Right, yeah.
All of those circumstances around it. So now you've got somebody coming in going, hey, let's go, and somebody meeting that with, wrong move. Right? The reason I'm making such a big deal out of these two diverse energies is the entire song. Let's look at it this way. You're starting with this. The song says we finish with this. So now they have to figure out how that goes together. I want to offer 3 specific things off of that. So the first thing we talked about was your own energies from the preceding action, and the preceding moment, and the inciting action. So the first thing is, what's the very first thing you play, Mark? The very first thing. I like to call that light bulb.
Yep.
Right? What do you say right after that?
You've changed.
Yes! So the scene has to be filled with this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until she has a moment, then she hears... Right, she hears... That's it. Thanks, Mark. We are like this. We are partners. Okay, right? And then she's going to go, let me hear it. Right? You can have this conversation with your actors too. So I want to break that down. There's blood flowing. There's breath being exchanged. There's heart beating in that music, right? There's vitality in what you're hearing. And almost every 8 to 16 bars, play what you just played and keep going. You're going to hear something like this. Keep going. Blood, breathing, and now listen to this. Right? Great. Now play that same exact phrase at the last verse, where they're singing together. Listen. Right? That's realization. That's somebody stepping back. That's somebody leaning in. That's somebody touching hands. That's somebody feeling a waist. Right? It's going from cognitive realization to physical realization. And that's an action that we all know as human beings. Make sense? So, I want you to do 2 things for me. Okay. Every time we come back to Constantine's baker, I want to up the tempo just a little bit.
Great.
So every time he comes back, play a little bit of the baker. Hear how logical that is? Right? It's also in the idiom of the bump, 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 bump. In the woods, it's time to go. He's the one doing. So she's going to have a realization that goes like this and like this, right? And he's going to stay cognitive. He's going to go, yeah, I see what you're saying. We do this together. We can work it out, right? Because I want to eschew the romantic, right? I want to get your baby. All right? He's going to do the heavy lifting for the romance, okay? So come in with the disparate energy. It doesn't need to be conflicting. It's just different. You both need to get something done. The second thing I want is constant discovery. I don't care about what. It can be about yourself. It can be about your scene partner. It can be about how cold it is in this room. It can be about, it can be. It can be about listening to the music, but there is constant discovery in this scene, okay?
Okay.
And I want you to, the last thing I want you to do is find each other. I want you to